There we go. So, have you ever done live before on YouTube before?
No, never, never. I
No.
can't. I've not got those privileges on mine. I've not got enough subscribers or watch time or whatever it is.
I'm not sure. I think it's what I think it's watch time. I think for
Really.
lives because you got over 1,000 subscribers. So yeah, I think that's what it is. But yeah, it tends to take a while before people hop on, and also I don't think I give it a title or anything. It just kind of like this happened, and I yeah. But yeah, so we can just like yak away, and then people can join, and we decide what we want to talk about.
Yeah, we can do. Yeah.
Yeah.
How you been, mate? How's things?
Yeah, not so bad. Not so bad. It's been relatively quiet, really, although I've been quite tired with all this working malarkey.
Yeah. What's it been like being back over the busy season?
Um, Not too bad. Not like last year and the year before, it was really busy, like for Christmas. But this year, it's not been too bad. What about you? What have you been up to?
Phew.
Oh, he's gone again. Oh, he's back again.
Yeah, it keeps doing that with my. I might try it on my phone and see if it's better. Next time it cuts out, I'll try and put it on my phone and see if that works better.
Yeah.
Might be the device.
Is it because your screen time's out?
I don't know. I think I've no idea. I've never done it on here before.
But normally when you're watching YouTube, it doesn't go off because it just plays the video, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's not taking me to YouTube though. It's just like half and half on my screen, like half in my emails. You know.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
Any better?
Interesting.
What have you gone to
We'll see,
there?
we'll see how it goes. No, it's still. I wonder if it's showing up on my YouTube that I'm live. It doesn't show anything. The Reiki Gen. I'm live. It doesn't show anything. I can see myself.
Oh well. Yeah. So when I
We'll see
went to
how it
come
goes.
to do the live earlier, I was going to schedule it for 5 o'clock, and then I thought, oh, let's call it something like etymology and spirituality or something along those lines. But in the end, when I did go live and you joined, it just didn't do anything. So we can just talk about whatever, and then if anybody wants to join in or converse or say something, then they can do.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and join on my phone, mate, and see if that makes a difference. Two
Okay.
seconds.
Yeah.
Because that is not the one.
Oh, someone's given us a thumbs up. Thank you, whoever that was. Thank you for giving us some thumbs up. We're attempting our first ever kind of live. Is that better?
I think that's better. I think it's designed for the phones rather than the iPads or.
Yeah, the sound's a lot better as well.
Yeah.
And I'm not echoing.
Perfect. All right. We'll hopefully.
So now
it'll be fine.
Yeah. Now we know the secret. So yeah, getting back to the conversation at hand. How's your Christmas been?
Good, mate. Good. Quiet one as always with my family. Yeah, but it's good. Yeah. work-wise, been quite quiet. I've kept my clients to kind of a minimum, kind of manageable amount
Yeah.
of hours a day, so I can do the writing, and just finish my book because I really, want to get it finished.
Oh
I'm
yeah, yeah, of course, your book. So
Yeah, yeah,
let's talk about your book. Let's do a bit of self promotion.
yeah. Let's. I reckon a lot of people here, a lot of your audience would like it.
Hmm.
It's it's good, yeah.
So what's it called again?
Oneness of words. Oneness of words.
The
So the
oneness of words.
yeah, the premise of it is showing the reader that all words point back to the same truth, which is the same truth any spiritual book points back to. But I use etymology and whatnot to show the reader that and guide them there to take them to that place of just
Right. Okay.
presence, self-abidance, or whatnot. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm more than happy if you want to ask questions or whatnot. I'll see what kind of comes through because my brain just connects words. It's
Yeah. 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 Okay.
yeah,
Um. So what? I mean, obviously, I know you, and we've known each other for well a while.
yeah.
We won't go into soul journeys and his phones fell over. We won't go into soul journeys and what we think and what have you. But
No, no,
um,
no. That's not.
obviously, we've known each other quite a while, and
Yeah.
I know what you do. But tell people that might be joining the live who you are, what you do, what you specialize in, and what your passion is.
Yeah, cool. So my name's Patrick, and I'm a qualified psychotherapist um, and a language enthusiast. So I've pretty much the past 13 years, I've been traveling, learning languages, and yeah, that's always been my number one passion, really, learning foreign languages and people, essentially. So that's what got me into like psychotherapy. I studied that, and yeah, and over the years, I've had the varying degrees of spiritual awakenings and realizations. One of them was when I started learning my first foreign language, which was French, actually. I realized as I was learning it and thinking and dreaming in French, I was like, wow, these words meant nothing to me like 3 years ago. And now I'm thinking in this language, dreaming in this language. If someone says something to me in French and it's like something offensive or whatever, it would upset me. So I was like, that's so interesting. I've managed to create almost another ego. And so it
Mm,
gave me that realization of wow, if I'm not these thoughts I'm having in French, maybe the character that I've dreamt up in English is also just that, it's a character.
mm,
Um, which it is. So that was my first like uh, insight into not being my thoughts. It's a real powerful gateway. Learning a foreign language, it becomes painfully obvious that you're not your thoughts when you're literally there building a little persona. Which persona actually comes from ancient Latin, which means mask. Is what a persona is. So all
right.
these little personas, and when I teach languages as well, I get my clients to create a persona. The
Mm,
reason a lot of them struggle is because their old identity of like being English, an English person speaking French. There's a block there. You want to become a French person, a French persona. So I tell them like, if I'm Patrick in English, I'm Patrick when I speak in French, or Patricio when I speak in Spanish. And I actually find that my, yeah, I guess persona character changes. And there's a
mm,
conversation I've had with a few polyglots, one of whom he speaks, I think, 50 languages, like not exaggerating. He's a hyper
wow.
polyglot, but he's not interested in spiritual things, right? So it's fascinating for me speaking to such people who have like learned so many languages, but they've not had any kind of spiritual realizations or
Mm,
whatnot. 'Cause, yeah, he would say things like, "Oh, your personality doesn't change when you learn a foreign language." I would say it does. Your personality does change, but your soul doesn't.
mm,
Yeah. And so I
yeah.
would differentiate with him like that. I'd use those words. Your soul doesn't change, but the persona, the personality, because language, it shapes your world completely. That's another massive insight you get from learning a foreign language. My God, of how you get like Spanish people, for example, you can say the words "I forgot," like literally. You can say "me olvidé," I forgot. But in Spain, they don't say that. They use the third person, so it's not like a personal thing. They say se me olvidó or se me ha olvidado. Like, and for an English person, that'd be like saying it slipped my mind. And then you get into the
Okay.
Spanish culture, and they're always late. They always forget things, and it's because they don't take things like personally. Like an English person, even the word drop, for example, they say "se me ha caído," it fell from me. You wouldn't say I dropped something, but in English it's a very personal thing. Like, oh, you throw me the pen, like, oh, I dropped the pen.
Yeah.
Spanish person would say, "Oh, it fell from me." Puts a
Right.
distance
Okay.
between yeah, puts a distance between you and the personal doership.
Yeah.
The sense of doership. So yeah, it's oh man, languages, Mo, languages, truth, um, love, people. Those are my kind of passions. So that's what I've been doing for the past however many years. Yeah, and I know I teach people how to learn languages properly as well. There's
Yeah.
a real proper method of doing it, the natural method. But in order to do that, you've got to work with your own ego because you have a
Mm.
lot of defense mechanisms come up when you learn a language because you're very vulnerable because you don't know anything. And most adults do not like not knowing. Like you'll know this of working with people in Reiki. Spiritual practice or healing is all about stepping into the unknown, right?
Mm.
And having an open mind,
Yeah.
um, which a lot of adults have been hard. They've been conditioned with like rigidness and strictness and yeah, they struggle to open that right brain way of thinking.
Mm.
We just perceive through separation all the time, or we're conditioned to. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of like a synopsis of what I'm about. And
Mm. Cool. So I'm sure um, the people that have been on, we had quite a few people in watching at one point. And we've had Gordon Hurds popped on and said hi, and then Howard Styro, who's been on a few of my lives before. He was saying about what you'd said, about language. You said this is true. Identity forms around languages. Your persona changes depending on what language you speak, but it's very like subtly changes. And that
mm,
brings me like, so I remember watching a video of you. I think you were on Instagram, and it was a video that you'd done, and you were speaking in a different language and to somebody else. And obviously, I knew the person, but
yeah,
like it was like it was you, but it wasn't you. It was really like it was really weird and like a bit sort of like what's going on here, like to watch. But I kind of like yeah, and then you kind of like put it into the right terms really that I was trying to get across was like same soul but different persona. And
mhm.
that's what I was trying to sort of like get to. But for me, I was just kind of about I was a bit more like puzzled by it all really because I've never obviously I knew that you teach languages and you speak multiple languages, but I'd never actually witnessed you speak a different language. So that for me was just kind of like a bit like, huh, a bit weird, but yeah, it's interesting. And then obviously, so it's great that you use a lot of that around um, a lot of the teaching of the languages around kind of like the spiritual concept as well, and getting people just kind of like just be totally open and
Mm,
not have any boundaries, not set any limitations, try to step away from the more formative way of learning as what I've seen you put before on your posts, like the way you learn in education in schools is very kind of like it's very rigid, it's very
yeah,
structured, whereas you try to work alongside people to make them kind of understand maybe the words or the situations better, so then they have a better understanding of like how to sort of say it or interpret it. Is that what I would say is how you work?
yeah, man. It's definitely an aspect of it. Like if it's useful for the person learning the language, I'll kind of teach them with a bit of etymology. If there's a similar word in English that we would use, like, well, I can't think of a good example now. Some people who, do you know the word ameliorate in English? To ameliorate, it's not
Ameliorate.
ameliorate. Yeah, it's not a common word, but so I can't think of any other examples now. But sometimes, and ameliorate means to improve. And in
Right.
French, it comes from French, which is améliorer, which is to
Hmm.
improve. Um, So yeah, sometimes I'll use etymology to help people. But do you know the number one thing is present. The number one thing when people ask me like, um, oh, how can I like learn a language faster when they're with me in the session, and to say to them be present is a very kind of it's not a tangible thing for them to kind of do.
Mm.
Um, so I try to avoid saying that, directly, like just be present. But it, it's the truth. Most people don't know how to listen properly. Um, a lot of people, when they're speaking to someone, they will be thinking in their minds what they want to say before the other person's finished speaking.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
An idea will come to them, a thought will come to them, and instead of just being present and just waiting and just listening, having a silent mind, just listening,
Mm.
they'll be there thinking, and they'll be there. The train of thought will take them off somewhere, and they won't be there listening to the person. So I teach people active listening skills, which is a skill we use in counseling and in therapy as well, where
Mm.
you paraphrase, you reflect back to the person what they're saying, and you can use these techniques to learn languages very, very fast and
Mm.
efficiently, as long as you do obviously like listening outside of the sessions as well. But to be able to get yourself in that kind of flow state where you're just present and listening, you need to get rid of the old subconscious programs of like your ego. Imagine when you can't remember a word that you know, people are like, oh, I know this word, or like any
Mm.
should thought, a lot of shoulds come up. I go, like one of my number one golden rules in my sessions are should thoughts not allowed. I said any shoulds, you stop them right in their tracks. You go no, because a should thought comes from the ego.
Mm.
And it sometimes I let it play out because it's interesting and therapeutic and useful for them to see it play out, and I'll kind of play along with it and I go, oh yeah, you should have remembered that, right? Oh yeah, yeah. How many languages have you kind of have you got fluent in before, or like how long have you been learning Spanish? All of your life, or just a few months? And they'll go, oh yeah. So why would I think I should know how to speak this language?
Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Actually, you can deal with it in different ways with people. Sometimes, yeah, I'll kind of playfully go along with it, but most of the time I just say, listen, any should thought is an ego thought, and it won't help you.
Mm.
Um, just when the emotion comes, yeah, because these thoughts are processed from emotions. So the three emotions of the ego are anger, sadness, and fear. So any of those emotions will produce these thoughts.
Mm.
Like, and obviously, from the ego, it's about not being good enough, essentially, which is the bottom line of what the ego's made up of, because it's an illusion. So it always feels lacking.
Yeah.
But it will be stuff like, yeah, frustration or whatnot. I get them to sit with the emotion. I'm like, listen, ignore the thought. I should da da da. Oh, I'm so stupid. Why did I do it? Ignore that. Sit with the feeling, the emotion.
Mm.
Breathe into it for a second, and then come back. We're back to the lesson.
Mm.
So this is why, like, kind of the marketing side of how I'm marketing myself now. I'm like, I need to show people this is what I'm doing. It's fluency through presence. It's fluency through mindfulness,
Mm.
rather than the old school method of sitting and repeating and just writing down lists and working under stress and whatnot. I get people in
Mm.
like a relaxed state, and yeah,
Yeah. It's really interesting,
yeah,
isn't it, how we can incorporate um, mindfulness techniques into so much in everyday life, like learning, your practices, your self development, your self awareness, and it just goes into like everything, And I talk a lot about that, with some of the posts and content that I put out there as well. So it's really refreshing to hear that, to know that you're doing that with people that you work with as well, and having a totally different technique and strategy to teach languages. Um,
mm,
the Oneness of Words,
yeah.
obviously, which is the name of the book. So, what was, because I know we talked a while back, and you talked about ego aikido. What what was that? Was that a technique you were working on?
Yeah, that's something separate from the
Is
book.
that what we did?
Yes, yeah, yeah,
Right.
exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
when
Right.
we did that
Yeah.
session. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
something. Yeah, something separate from the book. That's something I use myself to do my own shadow work and whatnot.
Mm.
Yeah, I can touch on that if you want as well, because the premise of that, it is to do with words still. So it is all kind of interlinked. And yeah, it's the premise that only the divine speaks, and words just sounds, and so we don't need to suffer from them. They should be creative tools that we use to speak out, and we command them and create images in our minds, and then we manifest on this physical plane. Um, so with ego aikido, yeah, the premise of aikido is using the force that comes towards you rather than like in karate, like a more standard psychotherapeutical pop psychology technique would be positive affirmations, which are very good and they have their place. They're phenomenal. If
Mm.
your energy field is at neutral or acceptance, if it's lower, you're just going to get resistance from the ego. The ego is just going to beat you up like
Yeah,
massive.
yeah, yeah.
You know how it is. Like we've all experienced the ego, and we tried to. Yeah, I don't know. For example, what's a good ego aikido?
Well,
A
it's a bit like
classic.
trying to bang on a locked door, isn't it? It's trying to get through a locked door, and it's just not going to open when you have that resistance. You just constantly against something, and until you know what it is that you're up against, then it's just futile. You know, you can use as many positive affirmations as you want, but if it keeps banging against that wooden door, it's not going to budge. And like you say, with and we've talked about this before as well with Aikido, with the way Aikido works, it's very cyclical and circular movements and what have you, and it's basically blending with that and trying to move with it. And as we did when you wanted to use someone as a guinea pig, and I'd said, yeah, I'll do it. And as we did that, rather than resisting something, you just sit with it and just go through it and see what comes up, see what you're feeling. And it was really interesting as well. And it was, for me, what I found the most kind of like interesting and powerful was the way um, when we were working through like certain emotions and the way like sort of like I know you've spoken about this before, this polarization, but how the energy polarizes and you can feel it like sort of moving up your energy field. And I mean, we experience that in Reiki treatments. You experience it in reflexology, in acupuncture, Tai Chi, any of these sort of gentle spiritual practices that are working with your internal energy systems. But just being sat there rather than actually doing anything, just being sat there and just being aware of the emotion and then just feeling it sort of like move was, yeah, that was really kind of like pretty cool and trippy for me.
Yeah, yeah, it is a little bit trippy, isn't it? When you can like physically feel it when you get in touch with your energy body
Mm,
and you start doing this kind of yeah, releasing work where you just yeah, accept the emotion instead of resisting it. Yeah, you can feel it coming up and out, and I mean, that's the process when you cry. You know, it's emotions coming up and out and getting
mm,
released. Like it's a beautiful and natural process that yeah, animals, for example, you see them when they get like traumatized. I was watching some ducks like have a fight. Have you seen ducks? They're quite like aggressive. Sometimes they go for each other, like they fight. They like fight each other, be like really at each other,
mm,
and then they'll just they'll swim away for a bit and flap their wings, get all of the stress out of their body,
yeah,
and then have a big just back. You know,
yeah.
we get humans will kind of that will happen to us. This traumatic event will happen, but instead of doing the wing flap and whatnot and becoming back and coming present again and just being, we'll hold on to that. You
Hold
know,
on to it. Yeah.
we'll resent that person, and we'll be like, oh, you should never trust this person, that person. Then we'll attract it because we are gods, we are created beings. We'll attract that into our field then and experience more of that which we ultimately don't want.
Mm.
But anyway, that's another topic of karma and samsara and different stuff. But yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's the premise. With yeah. Ego aikido acceptance is with any spiritual
Mm.
practice, any um, any spiritual practice. It's always acceptance. You know, acceptance, surrender, and yeah. and that's why I like working with people on the level of words. Level of words. So you kind of look at the story, distill the story down to an emotion. So it'd be fear, anger, or sadness. Okay, you work with that, and then you can go. As you remember when we did the session, then you can go into the body and feel it. So if you say, "Oh, I'm worried I don't have enough money." Oh my God, I don't have enough money. If I don't have enough, this is the story that the ego then creates. Go, okay, okay. You accept that at that level. What's the emotion behind this? Fear. So that's what you're working with, really. Okay. How do I know it's fear? You'll know because you'll be able to feel like, be like in your body somewhere, this feeling, oh my God, probably like your root chakra. You feel like, oh my God, there's fear. And then that's what you work with. That's what you put your attention on. And that attention is is what love is. My definition of love, and this is another reason I love words because you can mold them. What does God mean for you? What does love mean for you? For me, I use the definition agendaless attention. That's what love is. It's attention without agenda. So when you're listening to someone, it's why it's very therapeutic. What in therapy we called unconditional positive regard was the term that they use, which I find very sweet. Love, basically, is attention without an agenda. So you're not there sat in your mind, the person speaking about, oh yeah, my dad, did this to me, and you're thinking you're an idiot, you deserve that, like judging mentally. That's not agendaless attention. Agendaless attention is when there's no story going on in your mind, you're present in your body. And that's when therapy or like Reiki, I'm sure it'll be the same thing. When you're doing that Reiki practice, you get present. You're not there judging in your mind. The person's told you about their issues or whatever. You're like, oh, an idiot. No, you're complete. You're a channel. You're a channel for love, which is what everything is. Everything is love because everything is. So consciousness is agendaless attention.
Yeah.
Consciousness, love is unconditional in its nature. It has no agenda, which is why people, when they say, "Oh, if everything's love, why do horrible things happen?" And it's like unconditional love means no conditions. Like consciousness is just pure unconditional love. It doesn't have an agenda. It just is.
Yeah.
And so within the dream, you can dream yourself to be separate and pretend and think you're separate from love, and then you're going to act out evil. Um, it's just the way. That's just the way it is. But yeah, man, that's
And that's kind of like how we label ourselves as kind of like the creators in life, isn't it? Because it's only through our layers of perception of all the different things that we've been through, and all the different veils of things that go on within us, within our energy field, and all the stuff that we've been through, all the stuff that we're carrying around with us as well. It shapes our vision, our field of what's before us. So it's only from what we perceive is what we're actually creating. But if we have no agenda and no perception, and no sort of like idea of what something should be, or the result of what something should be, then again it's only just pure consciousness, and that's all that it is. And that's it's quite right what you're saying about like when you're giving a Reiki treatment, a lot of people after the treatment will always go and say to me, what did you feel, what did you experience, what did you see, what was going on within you. And like a lot of the time for me, I try to separate myself away from what might be conjured up in the mind or what I might be experiencing maybe on a more energetic psychic level. I try to just step away from that and just be in the presence, and just allow whatever needs to happen. Um, and because I think the more you get wrapped up in, oh, what's that? What colour's that? Why am I seeing that colour? Oh, it must mean this. Oh, but they haven't got that going on with them. That's not something that they came to me for. And then you start creating this picture of something else in the background, and that's when the mind starts taking over. And it's basically trying to condition yourself to separate yourself away from that, and just be totally there and not distracted by the stuff. And it's difficult. It can be difficult, and it takes a long time. And that's where kind of like your mastery really starts to begin, is when you're able to do that and step away from the distractions of the ego and the mind and just be there in the energy.
Yeah, yeah. I think with any therapy, really, the best service you can be to another is to just get out the way, like get your own ego, just
Yeah,
step
yeah.
out the way, just step out the way, and just be a channel. That's the only and greatest active service you can be. And bringing, so my mind's gone with some words here. Observe. To observe is the best service you can be of. To
Mm,
just simply observe, be observing, and then that's the best service you can give.
mm,
When when the ego kind of flares up inside of you, or something's going on, there's some kind of chaos or conflict or something happening in the world, you can feel it. You
mm.
feel like triggered in your own ego, because it's all energy. That everything's energy, and so it just vibrates on the same level. So if there's something going on, and you'll feel this even like something that's not directly in your energy field, or if you watch a video or whatnot, you see something like aggression, or it will trigger the same energy inside of you. And Eckhart Tolle calls it the pain body. The pain body, it wants to feed off of that. It wants to feed and feed. So you could have to just starve your own pain body. Just put your attention on it, and get out of the way. And
Yeah.
then in a therapeutic session, when you've got someone who's there and they want a high level of consciousness, they want to kind of they're sick of suffering, and they're like, no, I want to be better, I want healing. Then perfect, you've got the right conditions. Someone who wants
Mm.
to, they want to be open, and you can be an open field. But yeah, to observe is the best, best active service in this world anyway. I mean, I look at it, mate, like it's insane, insane how we live. Everything is backwards,
Mm.
and it's insanity. And the word sanity is related to sano, which means healthy in Spanish. Sano or santé in French is health. And that's what a saint is. A saint is someone who's healthy. And to become healthy is to be whole.
Mm.
Healthy, it comes from the Old English halen, health, which means to become whole, which is why holistic remedies, as we're kind of discovering now, they're becoming more and more popular, because we're becoming more and more aware of wholeness, or rather,
Yeah.
like our lack of wholeness, our insanity.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, man,
Mm.
it's good. I've got to shoot, mate. I'm really sorry. I've just been,
No, it's cool. It's
but
been good to
it's been great.
chat and to catch up again. So yeah, I hope everybody's enjoyed, and let's do it again soon.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
brilliant. Yeah,
yeah.
cheers, mate. Thanks a lot.
No, you're welcome.
Will you be able to get a recording of this? I thought I could like chop some stuff up for my Instagram.
I'll be able to.
Download it. Is that possible?
I don't know. I'll have to try and work it out. I'll try and work it out. See what I can do. I don't know if it records your end or my end, or the lives don't normally record. They normally just get uploaded to my channel. And then you can do. You might be able to do remixes from it though. You might really like sort of find the video when it eventually uploads and do some little snippets from it. You might be able to do that.
Okay,
Yeah.
man. If not, we'll do it again. Maybe on Instagram we could try and
Yeah,
do it
yeah,
again.
yeah. That'd be good. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
it'll be fun.
Yeah, yeah.
It'll be fun.
Right,
Awesome.
cool.
All
I'll
right,
let you
mate.
shoot.
Cheers. God bless, mate. Lovely speaking
All
to you.
right. Take care. Bye bye.
Be in touch. All right, much love, man. Ciao, ciao.
Bye bye. So there we go. That was Patrick. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, catch us all again soon, guys. Thank you, AC, for just jumping in. It will be uploaded to the channel very, very soon, and check out more of our videos, because me and Patrick have done lots and lots of videos in the past. Go over to my podcast playlist, and there's lots of videos of myself and many other people that have chatted over the years on this channel. So thank you very much. Toodaloo for now, and if I don't see you before, Happy New Year. Toodaloo. Bye bye.